Welcome to the Fishbowl Radio, everybody. My name is Chief here, and with me for the first time this season, making his debut in the college football preview 2016 here, college football week 7 here. We're about to get started is my old friend Juicy.
Hey everybody, what's up?
Finally, we got Juicy back on the air, but guess who's missing from this broadcast today? The one and only Mike Honcho is not going to be joining us here today, I don't think, unless he phones it in, but we'll see. I hadn't got in touch with him, but tried calling him, but then nothing came up. So, this is
Typical Mike.
not typical because I think he's been in every broadcast except for one maybe this year in the football. Now, we've been harping about Juicy for the last couple of weeks. Me and Mike been picking on him if you've been listening to the episodes about when we bring up LSU, we're like, oh, Juicy picked him to go undefeated. That's the running gag this year. So, all right, Juicy, you ready to pick some top 25 games?
Let's jump into it.
All right, number 25, Navy versus East Carolina.
I got Navy in this game.
Well, Juicy, guess what? The game got postponed.
Say what or what?
I don't know why. I haven't really seen any. The one that's been taking up the storyline has been LSU in Florida, but because I haven't seen anything. I heard it was going to get postponed. It'll be made up November. Wait, game will be made up November 19th. I hope they didn't make a. Okay. Well, anyway, that game's going to get postponed. We'll save that pick for later. I didn't see that. They got their stuff kind of hidden. It's kind of weird. But anyway, let's go with this one. This one will be played. This one ain't getting postponed, I don't think. Number 24, Western Michigan versus Akron.
Oh, I got Western Michigan in this game. I didn't even know Western Michigan was ranked, but
They're undefeated.
Well, give me Western Michigan in this game.
I got Western Michigan winning this game as well. They, like I said earlier, they're undefeated. And they're projected to win this game by at least 12 points is what the line is on Vegas. But I think it might be like a touchdown difference between them and Akron. Both teams are undefeated in the MAC conference. Zach Terrell has been very good for Western Michigan this year. And he's been, 101 out of 143, 1,390 yards passing and 15 touchdowns. He's been getting that ball in the end zone with passing. So that's that team's bread and butter. And I think they'll continue on their winning ways as they beat Akron to remain undefeated in the MAC conference. And speaking of undefeated in conferences, Appalachian State defeated UL Lafayette Wednesday night. We were there. So, Juicy, you made a visit with us over there. What you thought about the game?
It was ugly from the start. It got ugly fast.
It was a shutout, not a blowout.
Offense found itself. The defense barely found itself.
The defense did its job in the running department. Appalachian State, that's what they like to do, and they kind of stopped them from doing that. The passing defense is another situation that's UL's weakness on their team. If you want to beat UL, just pass the ball on them because they can't cover anybody. So, that's what me and Mike was saying on the sideline. And I made the comment that, Anthony Jennings is getting hit constantly. Every game, I think Anthony Jennings gets hurt or gets knocked out for 2 or 3 plays and he comes back in. And I think some people might be a little offended by that, but it's true. It's an observation. Hey. It happens. I'm not saying I could take the hit.
He holds on to the ball too long.
Yeah. He needs to get rid of the ball quicker. But receivers got to get separation, too. I didn't see the receivers breaking off their routes to go to the ball. They continue running the same routes, which, at the end of the day, this is all Mark Hutz's fault. Everything that's wrong with the team, you can trace it back to the head coach.
Trying to fire.
Fire HUD. Someone actually brought a sign that said Fire HUD to the game. I didn't see it, but you know. All right, number 21, Utah versus Oregon State.
Who's picking first?
You want me to go first?
I'll pick first. Don't matter.
Okay.
I got Utah in this game. Oregon State. I don't believe they have ever did anything this season. I really hadn't had time to keep up on college football this year, but I have to go with Utah in this game.
I think Utah's going to win this game. Troy Williams, Utah's more of a, well, they're more been known for being a smash mouth football team, but this year to kind of change that up a little bit. Tim Patrick's been having a pretty good year for helping Troy Williams out. He has 5 touchdown catches, and Troy Williams only throwing 7 touchdown passes. But it's going to be a close game, I think. It's supposed to be raining in Oregon, so the rain game's going to have to come to play, which Oregon State is the beneficiary on that one. Ryan Hall has 63 carries for 432 yards and 6 touchdowns. So, I'm going to go with an upset. Give me Oregon State. I got them at home. I think they'll pull the upset on Utah. Yep, it's 7.5. It's going to be a close game. I think it will be. I got Oregon State, though. I'll get them pulling the upset. Utah ain't as good as they've been in recent years. Let's see, 20. West Virginia versus Texas Tech. Juicy?
Who's ranked number 20?
West Virginia.
Well, no matter how you look at it, it's going to be a high-scoring game.
No defense.
There's going to be no defense, as it is in usually every Big 12 game. This is going to be really close. I don't know who to pick. Give me West Virginia by 3 points, but I think the final score is going to be like 50-something to 40-something, or like 52-49 or something like that.
Here's what I think is going to happen. Whoever gets the ball last in this game is going to win. Whoever has the ball last will win this football game. It's going to be a really close game. Patrick Holmes for Texas Tech's been having a great year. 20 touchdown passes. 2,274 passing yards. He's been phenomenal this year. And Jonathan Giles for Texas Tech's been also phenomenal, hauling in 35 catches for 614 yards and 7 touchdowns. But you cannot forget about West Virginia's own Justin Crawford, who has 60 carries and 331 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think it's going to be a really good game. They're playing in Lubbock. So I think Texas Tech, they do have the home field advantage. And I'm going with another upset, even though it's not as big one, because West Virginia is projected to win by 2 points. According to Vegas, not a big upset, but give me Texas Tech. I think they'll get the ball last and they'll be able to score. But if I had to pick a team, so I pick Texas Tech, I think they'll get the ball last. But if anything, my real pick is whoever has the ball last will win the game. Because they got no defense. I mean, they can't stop anybody.
That's a problem in the Big 12.
Kansas State versus number 19, Oklahoma. Juicy?
Oh, well, it's going to be another game like the one we just picked, to me. Both of them ain't. It's pretty much who can get the ball left, like you said, but I think Oklahoma might pull this one off, though. I don't see Oklahoma losing to Kansas State. They've done lost 2 games this year, Oklahoma. I have a feeling that Bob Stoops is going to get it together. I don't see Oklahoma losing to Kansas State.
I got Oklahoma winning this game here. Every time Oklahoma gets ranked really high, I've said this in previous episodes, they just can't seem to get together. When they get ranked like top 5, they're overrated and they get like knocked down to where they were at number 19 this week. But I think they'll do very well against Kansas State in this game. I think Baker Mayfield and everybody will get their swagger back and win this game to go on the 4-2. They're undefeated in the Big 12, so they definitely got a chance at the Big 12 championship. So give me Oklahoma to knock off Kansas State. Because, I mean, that's been the case with Oklahoma recently, which has kind of been, it's kind of sad, honestly, because you want them to have success because, you know, they're supposed, everybody's expecting them to have a good year. Then whenever you don't have a good year, well, I mean, like, in terms of their standards, but when you don't have a top 5 team going, LSU fans know this very well this year, along with Oklahoma fans. It's a gut punch, in other words. Let's see. I see 7.
I ain't gonna say nothing to that. I'm gonna leave that alone.
We're gonna talk about LSU though, even though they're not ranked. I don't see them on here. Number 17, Virginia Tech versus Syracuse. Juicy.
Number 17, Virginia Tech.
Yep.
I'll take Virginia Tech in this game. Syracuse. Syracuse has continually never done nothing in the ACC. I don't see that changing. Give me Virginia Tech. And the Hokies will win this game.
I got Virginia Tech winning this game. I think they'll beat Syracuse, and I just found number 18, and it's an SEC game. Sorry about that. I know how much you love the SEC so much, but anyway, I got Syracuse winning this game. I don't think this game will be over by halftime, I think. Go Hokies. All right. Missouri versus number 18, Florida. Juicy?
I got Florida winning this game. Missouri, they come off that big loss to LSU. And it shows you how Missouri really ain't that good. I don't see Florida having too many problems with Missouri. I think they'll win. I think 16 points or something, 10, 14 points.
I think Florida will win this game. I mean, you're almost on point with all the Vegas stuff with points. Florida's expected to win by 13 points. Drew Lock from Missouri's been a pretty good. Has been a pretty good quarterback for them this year. But Jordan Scarlett for Florida has been very good on the ground for them. I got Florida winning this game, and they did reschedule the LSU and Florida game, which will be held November 19th at Tiger Stadium. Now, the flip side to that is LSU didn't want to give up the home game, so they gave them the home game for this year, which it was supposed to be played in Florida originally. But for 2017 and 2018, LSU will have to travel to Gainesville, Florida, to play the Gators. And then whenever 2019 comes back around, they'll go to Tiger Stadium. So that
fair enough.
Yeah, it makes sense. North Carolina versus number 16, Miami. Juicy?
I didn't even know Miami was ranked.
You're getting a lot of surprises on today, Juicy.
I see you hear a lot of surprises. What's Miami's record?
They're 4-1 and they're 1-1 in the ACC. They coming off a loss from Florida State.
By how much?
Well, last second field goal. Actually, okay, let me explain this. I'll make my pick, then you can go, because I'm going to explain this game here, what happened last week. Miami was going to win this game against Florida State. Okay? They scored like almost a tying touchdown, and they made this parody of like a radio broadcast, and they're like, oh my God, the field goal kicker will never miss an extra point. Miami has essentially tied the game, and the other guy's like, well, I wouldn't be so sure what's going to happen here. They line up to kick this extra point here. It's 21-20. Florida State's leading the game. And it's like no time left on the clock or whatever. Florida State gets enough of a push up front. They block the extra point to win the game.
Huh.
So that was Miami's first loss on the year.
Typical Miami Florida State game. That's the traditional Miami Florida State, right?
Yeah. Too bad for Mark Richt, but I mean, I think Miami's going to come back with Mark Richt as a coach, especially in the ACC. I mean, I think he's going to be a power. They're going to be a power football team in the next couple of years in the ACC with Mark Richt at the helm. So, give me the Hurricanes to knock off North Carolina this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Hurricanes as well. Sounds like they're doing a whole lot better than what I thought. Hey, who's the quarterback for Miami?
Wait, what was that?
Who's the quarterback for Miami? Is it still Jacody Harris over there?
I think they usually have the guys. I don't know why they don't have it up. That's dumb. Okay, let's see. I think it's Jacody Harris. I don't think he was a senior. Let's see. No, it's Brad Kaye.
Oh, Brad Kaye. Yeah, that's right. Jacody Harris left. But like you said, I think Miami's going to come back, especially since in the ACC it's not as strong as the SEC. I think they'll contend more for ACC titles and maybe playoff appearances too with them in the next couple of years. Give me Miami to win this game.
Is the U coming back, boys and girls? The U? All about the U?
Maybe so.
Yeah. I think it'd be kind of cool to have the Miami Hurricanes back on top.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado State.
You know, that's who LSU opens up against next year is Miami.
Colorado State versus number 15, Boise State. QC.
Colorado State
Yep.
versus who?
Boise State.
Number 15, Boise State?
Yep.
Yeah, give me Boise State to win this game.
I'm gonna.
I don't really have to say much to it. Just give me Boise State.
Brett Ripen's been a very good quarterback for Boise State. Seen him in person at Cajun Field. That guy, he's very composed in the pocket. Hits his guys. Those are strike towards him. So, Boise State's undefeated here. 5-0, 2-0 in Mountain West play.
You know, they were picked to make the playoff.
Yeah, they were picked to make the playoff. It depends on what happens here. Their schedule, if you look at Boise State's schedule, it's not. It hurts them. It really does because their highest win, if you want to say, was Washington State up to this point, and they got Air Force at the last game of the year.
Who's their biggest win so far?
Washington State. They beat UL, Washington State, Oregon State, Utah State, and New Mexico.
How much they beat Washington State and Oregon State by?
They beat Washington State by 3 points. Oregon State, they beat them by, 13. No, 14. 14 points. Utah State, they beat them by 11. New Mexico, they 49-21.
They beat the brakes off of them.
Yeah. Like they did us.
Yeah.
So, Jerry McNichols leads the nation with 29 rushing touchdowns over the last 2 years. So, I got the Broncos. I think they're going to stomp all over Colorado State. And I think the only other, Air Force would probably be the team that would give them a tough game if you want to look at it that way, because they're 4-1, Air Force, 1-1 in their conference. So I'm thinking that Boise State will win the game against Colorado State, because I don't think Colorado State's got enough on defense to slow them down. Here, you want to hear a surprise, Juicy? You ready?
Let me hear.
Wake Forest has a better record than the team that's ranked number 14 right now.
Well, who's ranked number 14?
Florida State.
And what's Florida State's record?
They're 4-2, 1-2 in the ACC. Wake Forest is 5-1 and 2-1 in the ACC.
Wake Forest is 5-1.
Yep.
Well, who they beat so far?
Well, let's see here. Let's pull up Wake Forest's schedule here so far. They beat Tulane to open up the season. Beat Duke 24-14. Beat Delaware 38-21. Beat Indiana. Lost to North Carolina State, and they beat Syracuse.
Oh, well, they haven't really beat nobody big.
I think their biggest win would be Duke, but I mean,
They really hadn't beat nobody. Now, if they beat Florida State, that'd be a huge surprise.
yeah. I'm gonna go with Florida State win this game. DeAndre Francois, even though he's a freshman quarterback, I think they'll do good. And they even got Dalvin Cook there at running back, even though he's not as. I mean, he's doing pretty good on the ground this year, but we'll see. I think they'll pick up the win.
Yeah, I got Florida State winning this game as well. Sounds like Wake Forest had a nice little ride, but I don't think they're going to beat Florida State. If they beat Florida State, then they probably would have a shot to win the ACC, at least the division. But I don't see that happening.
One of my teams I really wanted to get in the playoffs, but they couldn't do it. Number 13, Houston Cougars take on Tulsa. They lost last week. Houston to
Navy, they got upset.
Yep, they got an upset on the Cougars of Houston, but we'll see what happens here. I got Houston winning this game. I think Greg Ward Jr. is going to come back roaring. They only lost by 6 points to Navy. They couldn't get the job done toward the end of that game. I think they will pick up the win, though, against Tulsa. Give me the Cougars.
I'm with you on. I'll take the Cougars as well. I think they'll bounce back after such Navy, but I think they'll recover and be just fine. I think, like you said, Greg Ward will come roaring back in this game, and they'll be motivated to come out and win. So give me the Cougars.
The only team left in Big 12 that's undefeated, Kansas versus number 11 Baylor.
I thought you were gonna say Kansas was undefeated. I was gonna say what?
No, Kansas is 1-4 and they're 0-2 in the Big 12. Baylor's 5-0 and 2-0. I got Baylor winning this one. I got Seth Russell passing very well. He's got 14 touchdowns on the year, so give me Baylor.
Yeah, give me Baylor as well. This game won't even be close. So Kansas hasn't. I don't see Kansas being able to keep up with them. So give me Baylor.
All right, number 10 Nebraska, 5-0, goes on the road to take on Indiana.
Wait, say what?
Nebraska's undefeated.
Say that one more time. Come on.
Nebraska is undefeated, Juicy.
Well, what is up with that?
Yeah, you've been away for too long. They beat Fresno State, they beat Wyoming, they beat Oregon, they beat Northwestern, and they beat Illinois.
Yeah, I've been away for too long. Plus, I only got the local channels over here. I can't really get.
That's why you need to set up the Watch ESPN app.
Something, but what's up with that? Well, who they beat, whatever.
I just told you who they beat. They beat Oregon, which, I mean, Oregon's down this year. They're number 22. But Fresno State, Wyoming, Oregon, Northwestern, and Illinois. But I got Nebraska winning this game. I think they'll do a really good job this year. They've done, actually, let me re-scratch. They've done a marvelous job. They lost their, I think, a kicker or a punter during the offseason, and they've been honoring them every game. It's really nice to see that team come together like that. But I got Nebraska winning this game. It's going to be a close one, though, because Indiana's a pretty good team this year.
Well, in that case, I got Nebraska too. I think Nebraska will continue their run. They're gonna beat who they playing?
Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana. I think they'll beat Indiana. I don't think Indiana will give them too much trouble, and I think they'll go 6-0.
All right, we're going to skip 9 because they're playing the number 1 team in the country. And let's see, skipping 8. We're going to go up number 7 as we climb out the list, breaking down the top 25 matchups here on the Fishbowl Radio. I really like this team. Unfortunately, they lost, but they're still not out of the picture yet. But Duke versus number 7, Louisville. Juicy.
Number 7, Louisville and Duke.
Yep.
Give me Louisville to win this game. I'm still impressed with how they beat Florida State 62-20, and
Almost beat Clemson.
I know Louisville lost a close game to Clemson, but they'll rebound, and I think Duke won't give them too many problems. I don't expect it to be that close with the game. So
Lamar Jackson has scored 28 total touchdowns by himself. That's
this year.
Yep. 14 passing, 14 running. He's a freshman. And they were literally 1 yard short of converting a 4th down to basically beat Clemson. That's how intense this team is. Lamar Jackson's, I'm crowning him the Heisman Trophy winner. It was really close. They lost 42-36.
And he's only a freshman?
Yeah, he's only a freshman, so watch out, college football. He's going to be around for a while, so I got them destroying Duke. This is not going to even be a close game at all. I got Louisville. They're playing tonight at 6 o'clock. So if you want to watch that one, it's at Louisville. So give me the Cardinals to win.
Yeah, they're going to destroy Duke probably.
Lamar Jackson just a highlight reel himself. So we'll see if they can get even more skilled people around Lamar Jackson. It's going to get crazy. No number 6 I don't see on the schedule. No number 5 either. I think a lot of teams have a bye week this week. I don't see 6, 5, or anything. No number 4. They have number 3 though. Yep. Number 3, Clemson versus NC State.
Give me number 3, Clemson in this game. I think Clemson will. I think Clemson with Deshaun Watson and it will just be too much for NC State. I think NC State will hang in for a little bit, but I think Clemson will have their way in the end. They'll pull away from them. So give me Clemson.
I got Clemson winning this game too. Deshaun Watson's going to take control of this game. Coming off a big win. This could be kind of somewhat of a trap game because, you got a big emotional win over Louisville last week. But I think Clemson gets the job done. Give me Clemson to beat NC State. All right. Can't do 2 and 1 yet, but we're going to do the games of the week. We call them as we do them in order. We have 3 top 25 matchups of teams playing against each other. So, first one we're going to kick it off here is number 12, Ole Miss versus number 22, Arkansas. Who you got in this game, Juicy?
Well, give me. I just have a feeling Ole Miss is going to win the game. Even though I think Arkansas, I wouldn't be surprised if Arkansas would win the game.
Remember last year?
Because Arkansas, they are a tricky team to pick against sometimes. You never know. But I just think Ole Miss and Chad Kelly is going to find a way to win the game. So but I think it's going to be a close game.
Austin Allen's been having a pretty good year at Arkansas. I mean, they've been having really good. Raleigh Williams III been a pretty good back for them as well. Chad Kelly's been having a good year too. Even though they lost to Alabama, which is their only SEC loss this year, and Arkansas lost to them too. But I think it's going to be a very close game. I think a touchdown decides it. But I'm going with Ole Miss to knock off Arkansas. Go Rams.
Yep, same.
All right. Number 1, Alabama versus number 9, Tennessee. Juicy.
Oh, I'm so I'm so tempted to pick. I'm so tempted to pick Tennessee because I know done better as the season went along. And I know did they beat Texas A&M or no?
No.
No, but they went to like 4 overtimes or something.
Yeah.
I know they had a really good game against A&M, even though they had lost to them. But I think, honestly, I think Alabama's going to win this game, but I think it'll be by like 3 points, maybe a touchdown. But who's to say? You never know. Tennessee might win.
I think Alabama's going to win this game.
You picked Tennessee before the season started.
Yeah, I did. That is a fact. I did.
I remember that.
But as the season goes along, you can change your pick for individual games. Not some absurd, like you almost can't go back on saying someone's going to go undefeated and like, oh, they were really bad. It's kind of bad. I got Alabama win this game. Damian Harris has been really good, and Calvin Ridley's been good for him. I think Alabama's going to win this game though over Tennessee by a touchdown. And our game of the week, number 2, Ohio State versus number 8, Wisconsin. Juicy.
Oh, well, I have, Wisconsin has beaten LSU, and that surprised me. I know Wisconsin struggled in a couple games, but they still win, and they're having a pretty good year. And Ohio State is doing pretty well as well. I don't really. In Ohio State, they've thrived under Urban Meyer and dominated the Big Ten. So I say that to say that I say Wisconsin will not win this game. That Ohio State's going to pull this game off. Probably by about, I don't think it's going to be that close, maybe 10, 14 points at the most.
I think it's going to be a little bit closer than you think, Juicy. I think 7 points is going to be the bit difference here. Wisconsin's one of those teams that you just can't get rid of for some weird reason in a football game. I got JT Barrett and the Buckeyes pulling this off. JT Barrett's been having a good year, and I think their offense will be enough to wear down Wisconsin's defense. So give me Ohio State to win this game. All right, now we're going to go pick Juicy's game. LSU versus Southern Miss.
LSU, I think, is going to win that game. They like 25-point favorites in this game. They seem to be so far doing better under Ed Orgeron, but we'll wait to see if it's real or if it's just a little fluke or whatever. But they are projected to win by 25, so I give LSU the win in hand.
Yeah, they're going to be on the SEC network, 6:30 Central Time. LSU takes on Southern Miss. Southern Miss is 4-2 on the year. One of the losses came to Troy, Sun Belt team. LSU's 3-2. They have 2 losses on the year, 1 to Auburn and 1 to Wisconsin, like Juicy alluded to earlier. It's kind of interesting to see who's going to really. I think LSU's going to win this game. Don't see Southern Miss really putting much of a fight against them. Maybe hang around for a half, but then second half, LSU's run game will take over to wear them down. This is a really good game for LSU to try to expand their playbook, get away from the run, try to balance out the offense like they did against Missouri. That will be the key. What? What you said, Juicy?
Oh, I didn't say that.
Oh, I thought you did. I think it'd be really key for LSU to balance out the playbook, pass and run, get that passing game even going in a better direction than it was against Missouri. You know, you can't be stagnant and you got to progress your offense. So, Ed Orgeron so far has been doing a good job.
Ed Orgeron has spread the ball out.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But go more deeper into the playbook. They might have just started out like really kind of just doing the generic stuff. But yeah, I think if LSU gets a quarterback, they could be a really good team in the SEC. Maybe not. They can't win it this year, I don't think. But
they can still win the SEC this year.
They got one loss against Auburn. Alabama. I think if they would have found Ed Orgeron to begin the season, they might have a better chance. I have to see LSU play a quality opponent and beat them.
Well, no.
For them to actually.
I'd say there's still a chance they can win the SEC because LSU's only got one loss in conference play. So suppose they do win out, they would have the tiebreaker over all those other teams.
You know how difficult it's going to be to win out against their schedule? Hold up. I'm going to show you what LSU's schedule is. Because this is going to be pretty gruesome schedule they have to go through. LSU's got a 96% chance to win according to FPI. We're not going to even break into that, but let's see. Did really well against Missouri.
Game day brings out the best in all of us.
Yeah, it does. Or worse. Depends on what happens after the game. But anyway, let's see. I want the schedule. All right. Look at this. After Southern Miss, they go through a buzzsaw, I call it. Number 12, Ole Miss, they play after this. Then number 1, Alabama at home. They get both those teams at home. Then they go at Arkansas, number 22. Then they go play Florida at home. And then they finish off the schedule at number 6, Texas A&M. That's a bloodbath. They're going to drop at least 2 games there.
Well, you're probably right. I'm just saying there's always a slim chance. But I'm just saying, as far as you saying that they're not going to win, but that they can't win the SEC, well, that's not true. There's still a chance.
I don't think they're going to win it, though. I really don't think they will. They did.
But I'm just clarifying it up that they still. I'm just telling you how they can still win the SEC. It's not lost yet.
The teams that are ahead of them is Alabama and Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Auburn's ahead of them because they only head-to-head there. So Auburn, LSU don't control their destiny. Auburn kind of does. They need Auburn to lose. Ole Miss, they're 1-1. Mississippi State's 1-2, but they're not going to be competitive. Arkansas is behind LSU too. So I mean, just in terms of the West, it's going to get real interesting to see what's going to happen. And it's about time Florida finally rescheduled the game. You know. So, I mean, that should be it for the Fishbowl Radio here today. Anything you want to say, Juicy?
It was good to be back on the show. I had fun. Hopefully I can get on again next week. Hopefully I'll be back around more Fishbowl Nation. I'm trying to get better at having more time for it. Hope y'all enjoyed the show today.
Should be a good one. Wish Mike was here. I mean, we'd have had the triple threat.
Exactly. The dynamic duo today.
The dynamic duo has been going on for a while. But yeah, that should be all for the Fishbowl Radio here today. Thank y'all for tuning in. It was a really good episode, I think. I think we covered a lot of different things here today. You can check us out on Twitter at Fishbowl Nation. Like us on Facebook at the Fishbowl Radio. You can also go on YouTube. We have a channel there that this episode is going to be uploaded to after this episode because it automatically does it, which is kind of cool. I like that feature about Spreaker. Or you can listen to us here on their home website, Spreaker.com. You can also listen to us on iHeartRadio. So that should be good. Hope y'all have a great and wonderful weekend.
Enjoy y'all's weekend.
It's finally starting to feel like fall around here a little bit. Kind of, sort of. Not quite there yet. Not quite there.
Still a little hot.
It's still a little hot. Waiting on some cool front to come through. Yeah.
We need them.
Definitely. Yeah. Talk to y'all later, Fishbowl Nation.